Welcome to Graham and Berrien's video on how to make a contrast paint interchangeable palette with some snails as well. So myself and Berrien, we're enjoying using contrast paints for painting miniatures, and we wanted to create a colour palette, and we needed it to be able to grow and change over time, and we wanted to be able to move the paints around so we could look at different combinations. So we have worked out how to make an interchangeable colour palette that also can turn around like that, and it's made up of these little fellas, which are tiny little model bases with a scenic topper, which allows us to be able to see how the contrast paint looks, and it's also got a written label so we know what it's called. This is how we did it. The ingredients for this are one base tray. This is a 6x6, got 36 bases on it. You can get them different sizes on eBay. This is about 10 quid. It's laser cut MDF. Some 32mm bases that have got no feature on the top of them. They're nice and flat so you can write on them. These are Games Workshop. Got these from eBay. Some swamp and industrial small bases from War Cradle Scenics. These are exactly the right size to be able to fit on top of the 32mm bases and leave a little bit of room to write your label of what your name is, or what your paint is called. And last but not least, some trusty hook and loop tape from Mike's really useful shop in Cardigan. Nice one, Mike.
I beg your pardon. Last but not least, some snails.
Yeah.
To crawl over the sticky tape to make it a bit more sticky.
Excellent, yes. So I'm sure the snails...
It's not too sticky anyway.
No, it's not too sticky anyway. I'm sure the snails will be making a comeback later in the video. Watch this space. So we've done the introduction. Right, so the first thing you've got to do is apply your contrast paints. We had a contrast paint bottle here, it's gone now. Apply your contrast paints to your toppers. Whatever that is, you might have made your own sort of like Berrien, get
it's
away.
not gone. Here's
oh, there we go. There's a little contrast paint there. First thing is get your contrast paint, paint up your toppers or your scenic bases or whatever you've made to be able to see that contrast. The next thing you've got to do, what's number 2? Oh yeah, spray your base tray. So spray your base tray, which comes looking like MDF with a bit of laser cut scorch marks. Spray it your undercoat of choice. We've used Games Workshop Wraithbone. You might use like a brighter white or a grey or a black, whatever your undercoat is. Spray your base tray that colour. Then you need to get your bases, your 32mm bases, and brush paint them with a matching colour. So we've got a matching colour to do ours. So it flattens the colour. You've got no sort of like weird interference of background colours. And then what's the next thing that we do? Done that. Oh yeah. Then you've got to glue your topper to your base, and that leaves a little bit of space at the bottom to be able to write the name of the paint. And last but not least, get your hook and loop tape and put it on. Don't make our mistake and mix it all up. Get all your hook and loop tape the same way round so you can move your paint palette around. So you've got the same, all the hooks on the bottom or all the loops on the top, or however you want to do it. You'll work it out.
Either all the hooks on the bottom and all the loops on the top, or all the loops on the bottom and all the hooks on the top.
That's right.
Your choice.
And then you will have your paint palette, and you can pick those little fellas off and mix them up and figure out which ones go with each other. And when you buy new ones, you can add them on. You can get new trays. It's a really sort of flexible way of doing it. We've also just worked out you could probably play Connect 4 or Dominoes or something with this if you wanted to. We've actually painted up our entire own chess set of miniatures, which looks cool. It's a bit confusing to play with.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. No, it's awesome to play with.
For Daddy it isn't, but for me it's really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy for Berrien. Daddy gets a bit confused. So Berrien, that's the end of the workshop of how to make an interchangeable paint palette. Did you want to say anything about snails or blocks?
So,
to the camera.
Next, there will be a video
Talk to the camera.
about snails.
Okay, so we're going to do a video about snails as well. So, you know, watch this space. Okay, we done?
So if you like snails, then just look at our next video.
Great. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.